Thank you for joining me. I'm Tracy Liu, VP of Channel Sales here at ClearlyIP. And today we're going to be talking about E911 and VoIP. So I'm going to start by giving you guys a quick intro into ClearlyIP and who we are. And then we'll go over the most recent telecom laws related to E911. After that, we'll cover affordable and easy to implement solutions we have for meeting the requirements set forth in those laws. And finally, we will wrap up with Q&A. So before we begin, just wanting to let everybody know that we are all on mute, but if you have any questions, go ahead and type them into the Q&A and we will get those questions answered at the end. So let's get started. Who is ClearlyIP? ClearlyIP is a VoIP organization and team of experts that was founded in 2019. Our founders are the original founders and innovators behind FreePBX, which is one of the world's largest telecom applications. About 85% of our staff is engineering, and our passion is building quality VoIP products, which we've been doing since 2010. So we're leaders in telephony. We're laser focused on delivering cutting edge solutions that are secure, collaborative, and productive. We're also a growth company. So we're always improving our product set and partner program and looking at intelligent acquisitions to bring more capabilities. What gives us an advantage over the many VoIP companies out there is our legacy of innovation, reliability, and market expertise. Here is the entire ClearlyIP product set. We have Clearly Cloud, which is our multi-tenant UCaaS solution that we host. It's our main product, and we put a lot of effort into growing this product. We also manufacture our own IP desk phones and gateways to go along with Clearly Cloud and other products like CommExchange, as well as other PBXs. And we also have our mobile app, which is Clearly Anywhere. It goes with Clearly Cloud and CommExchange. And we have a cloud device manager that's an agnostic device provisioning solution for over 300 different makes and models of devices like phones and paging systems and even our gateways. We have CommExchange, which is our hospitality-focused PBX. And then we have SIP trunking, which is the first product that we put out back in the day. It's a very reliable SIP trunking platform. And then CodeX, which is an emergency alert solution that I'll be diving into more today, as well as Panic Button, also for emergency alerting. So I'll be spending some time on Panic Button as well. And then we also have Send Fax 2, which is our virtual fax solution. So that's kind of the whole gamut of products that we offer here at ClearlyIP. So let's get into E911. What is E911 and how does it work? As we all know, 911 is the universal emergency telephone number in which callers dial in the event of an emergency where locations need to be communicated. E911 stands for Enhanced 911, and it's a system used in North America to automatically provide the caller's location to 911 dispatchers. There are currently 3 laws in effect in the United States in connection with E911 that every partner and customer needs to know. If you're a business telecom provider or a customer, you need to be compliant with Kari's law, BAUM Act, and Alyssa's law. Although these laws are currently for new system installations, it could and should be addressed for your existing phone system installations to ensure safety and protection for your customers. Next, I'm going to go into a little more detail about each of these laws. Starting with Kari's law. This law was named after Kari Hunt, whose estranged husband assaulted her at a hotel in Marshall, Texas. Her 9-year-old daughter attempted to call 911 4 separate times from the hotel room phone, but because the phone system required a 9 to be dialed before an outside call, all 4 calls failed. Doctors testified that Kari lived for some time after the assault, and had 911 been reached, she would likely still be alive today. Kari's law is split into 2 different parts. The first is direct 911 dialing requirement, which states that all multi-line telephone systems, MLTS providers, must pre-configure the PBX to support direct dialing of 911 without having to dial any prefix or access code, such as the number 9. The second part is the notification requirement, which states that when a 911 call is placed, the MLTS system must be configured to immediately notify without delay a central location on-site or off-site where someone is likely to hear or see the notification. At a minimum, the notification has to include notification that a 911 call has been made, a valid callback number, and information about the caller's location. This law was enacted in 2018 and it applies to all systems installed after February 16th, 2020. Next, we have BAUM Act. BAUM Act was named after a lawyer and congressman who championed this telecommunications policy throughout much of his career. BAUM Act ensures that first responders have a correct location associated with the 911 call received by requiring that dispatchable location information is conveyed with 911 calls to dispatch centers, regardless of the technological platform that's used. Dispatchable location means a location delivered to the public safety answering point with a 911 call consists of the validated street address of the calling party, along with any additional information such as the suite, apartment number, floor or room number, or similar info necessary to identify the location of the calling party. Like Kari's law, BAUM Act was enacted in 2018 and applies to all systems installed after February 16th, 2020. The third law is Alyssa's law, named after Alyssa Al-Hatef, a 14-year-old student at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. Alyssa was killed during a mass school shooting on February 14th, 2018, when a former student shot and killed 17 people. Alyssa's law is legislation that was enacted to improve the response time of local law enforcement during emergencies in public schools. It mandates that all public elementary and secondary school buildings be equipped with a silent panic alarm or silent panic alarms that directly notify law enforcement. These silent panic alarms must be designed to be discreet and not cause mass panic or distraction. They also have to be directly linked to law enforcement or 911 to ensure rapid response. Alyssa's law is currently enforced in New York, Florida, New Jersey, Texas, Utah, Oklahoma, Louisiana, and Georgia, and it's pending in 18 other states. For the latest information on Alyssa's law, you can visit this website, alyssas-law.com. Now let's talk about something that's often overlooked but absolutely critical: emergency preparedness. According to a survey from Nationwide Insurance, 75% of small businesses still don't have an emergency plan in place. That's a staggering number when you consider what's at stake. Even more alarming, the Milken Institute reports that 40% of businesses fail to reopen after a disaster, and those that do, 25% failed within just 1 year. These aren't just statistics, they're cautionary signals that highlight how important it is to prepare for a crisis before it hits. On the right side of the slide, you'll see the emergency planning cycle: mitigate, prepare, respond, and recover. Mitigation means identifying risks early and putting systems in place to reduce potential impact. Preparation is about taking proactive steps, training, communication plans, emergency tools before an emergency occurs. Response involves immediate actions to protect people and a property when a crisis hits. And finally, recover is about bouncing back, restoring operations, rebuilding, and learning from the event. This cycle is a continuous process, and your organization's resilience depends on how well you plan in each phase, before, during, and after an emergency. Next, I'm going to introduce some affordable solutions that are easy to implement, like Panic Button, Silent Intercom, and CodeX, that will help you prepare and respond in an emergency situation. These solutions work with ClearlyIP products, such as our SIP trunking, Clearly Cloud, and COM Exchange, to help you meet the E911 laws and requirements. Let's start with Kari's law, which requires phone systems to allow users to dial 911 without requiring a prefix like 9. ClearlyIP solutions like Clearly Cloud and COM Exchange fully support 911 direct dialing. You can configure them so users can dial 911 directly without any extra steps. Our platforms also support 911 notifications, which can be configured for mass alerts, which are critical for internal awareness and response. When someone dials 911 from Clearly Cloud or COM Exchange, we can automatically trigger multiple layers of alerts, such as phone calls to designated staff until someone answers, paging over speaker systems or to paging groups, SMS text messaging, or email notifications. These notifications ensure that your internal team is immediately aware of an emergency and can respond while help is on the way. Next, we address BAUM's Act with 911 callback profiles and dispatchable locations. BAUM's Act mandates that all 911 calls include accurate and dispatchable location information. Both Clearly Cloud and our hosted UCaaS solution, Clearly Cloud and ClearlyIP SIP trunks support the requirements of BAUM Act. First, we support 911 callback profiles, which ensure that if a 911 call gets disconnected, emergency dispatchers have a designated callback number to immediately reconnect with the caller or the designated team that has all of the vital information. This allows first responders to stay in contact even if the original call drops. Next, we provide dispatchable location data. That means when a call is placed in 911, the system doesn't just send a street address. It can also include more detailed information like floor levels, suite names, or room numbers. This helps first responders locate the caller quickly and accurately, especially in large buildings, campuses, or multi-tenant facilities. This is critical in situations where every second matters. 911 callback profiles and dispatchable locations are tools that are essential for both regulatory compliance and ensuring the safety of your staff, guests, customers, or students during an emergency. So next, I want to introduce the panic button, which is a silent panic alarm designed to meet the requirements of Alyssa's Law, which mandates a timely and silent notification to authorities during an emergency. The panic button allows staff to discreetly trigger an alert, either through a programmed speed dial directly on the phone or through a dedicated panic button with a long cord that plugs into the phone's USB port. Once activated, a call is silently placed to a preset destination, such as school administrators or emergency responders. What makes this powerful is that the phone's microphone is automatically turned up to the maximum gain, allowing those on the other end to hear and assess the situation in real time, without anything appearing on the device to indicate that a call is in progress. This ensures that help can be mobilized quickly and quietly without escalating panic or alerting the threat. Panic button is a feature that is exclusive to ClearlyIP phones. Another powerful tool for emergency response is our silent intercom feature, which is also exclusive to ClearlyIP phones. Silent intercom allows authorized users to discreetly listen in on an emergency situation without alerting anyone in the room. When triggered, the system sends a silent notification, and if the phone is not in use, it'll automatically answer and activate the microphone, all without any visible indication that the device is on an active call. If for some reason the staff is not able to trigger an alert from within the room, this enables security teams or administrators to gather real-time audio from the scene, helping them assess the situation and coordinate an appropriate response quickly and quietly. Now, the last product I'd like to introduce is CodeX, our mass alert and emergency communication platform, which was awarded the Unified Communications Excellence Award. CodeX integrates seamlessly with both CommExchange and FreePBX, and it's now included with CommExchange at no additional cost. CodeX was originally developed as a custom solution for a school district in California, but it has evolved into a powerful tool for any organization that needs to quickly identify which rooms or zones are safe or unsafe during an emergency. CodeX features individual room reporting and auto logging of incoming responses, allowing response teams to see updates in real time. You can manage and deploy emergency announcements tailored to the type of crisis, ensuring clear, consistent communication. There's a central dashboard that provides a live view of the entire facility, and staff can call in to report their status, and in unmanned areas like a school gym, you can integrate camera systems to monitor conditions visually. After the event, detailed reporting tools help you review the response and improve on future emergency response plans. So let's get into a little more detail on how CodeX works. So CodeX enables real-time emergency response by letting users easily report their safety status. There are multiple ways to mark a room or extension as safe or unsafe. First, CodeX can be programmed to dial out to each extension. And users can simply press a button on their phone to respond. One press logs them in as safe, another as unsafe. Another way for users to dial in is using CodeX response codes. So for example, you can pick up a phone and dial *61 4357, which spells out help, to mark themselves as safe, or *62 4357 to report as unsafe. To make this even easier, these codes can be pre-programmed as speed dial buttons on the phones, so users don't have to remember anything during a high stress situation. And lastly, for those with access, a room or extension status can be updated directly in the user control panel, providing another layer of accessibility and control. When preparing for emergency situations, the first step is putting together a plan for each type of situation, whether it's a lockdown or evacuation or fire or hurricane. It's important to define the steps you want people to take and what you want to communicate. One of the feature codes of CodeX is the ability to, one of the key features of CodeX is the ability to manage emergency announcements, either pre-recorded, live, or a combination of both. You can create, upload, and organize custom announcements for each type of emergency, which we refer to as a campaign. For example, you might have a specific message for a lockdown and a different one for a fire evacuation and another for a weather alert. Having these announcements pre-configured ensures that when seconds matter, you're not scrambling to find the right words. And if a situation calls for it, you also have the option to make live announcements in real time. This flexibility allows your team to respond quickly, clearly, and consistently, no matter the scenario. When delivering a message or announcement during an emergency situation, it's important to use clear and concise language, especially in high-stress situations. The goal is to ensure that everyone, including visitors that are not familiar with your procedures, immediately understand what to do. For example, a lockdown message might sound like this: attention, the school is now in full lockdown. Lock and block your rooms, turn off all your lights, immediately clear restroom and hallways to the closest safe location. If outside, please run to a safe off-campus location. Students, stay off your phones and stay silent. Staff, please report your room status with your predefined code. This message is simple, it's direct, and it's action-oriented. Once you've identified your emergency scenarios and the key messages you want to communicate, you can begin building customized campaigns in CodeX for each type of event. Within each campaign, you can define how notifications are delivered, whether by page, call, or both, whether you want to enable check-ins or mass notification. For instance, a customer can have mass alerts that are suited for notifying only, like for a lockdown, while in a different situation, like a fire, a check-in might be more appropriate. You can also define how many notification attempts should be made, at what intervals, and the overall time limit for the campaign. You'll also specify which extensions to page or call or require check-in, and what announcement should be played and how often. This flexibility allows you to tailor your response plan to fit the unique needs of each emergency, making your communication faster, clearer, and more effective. Once your campaigns are set up in CodeX, your system is ready to respond when an emergency occurs. If a situation arises, there are two simple ways to activate a CodeX event. First is through the CodeX application in the PBX's user control panel. The second is by dialing a pre-configured extension or a specific code and entering in a secure passcode. Both of these options provide fast, secure activation to ensure your emergency response is launched immediately. During the emergency event, CodeX gives you real-time visibility and control with live monitoring, clear status indicators, and actionable reporting. You can monitor the status of each extension or zone in real time using intuitive red, yellow, green indicators for instant clarity on which areas are safe, unsafe, or unresponsive. Pre-recorded instructions can be played over the phones or paging systems customized for each type of emergency. After the event, you can run detailed reports to review campaign performance and response data. These reports can be automated and sent over email as well, which can help with compliance documentation and make it easy to do an analysis of your response after the event so you can make improvements. CodeX was originally designed to help school systems and was initially deployed in the education vertical. However, it naturally grew into other applications. It's also a great fit for hotels, municipalities, hospitals, and businesses that may need to communicate quickly in an emergency. Really, any multi-office, multi-room organization. Today, CodeX is compatible with CommExchange, our hospitality PBX. In fact, it's now included with CommExchange at no additional cost. It's also compatible with Business Connect, which is a hosted PBX platform provided by us, Tango PBX, a distribution of free PBX, and supported versions of free PBX such as Incredible PBX. All right, to wrap things up, today we've explored how ClearlyIP's emergency tools and VoIP integrations go beyond compliance to deliver real practical safety solutions for schools, businesses, hotels, and more. We've covered 911 direct dialing and notifications supporting Kari's law, dispatchable location delivery and callback profiles in compliance with BAUM Act, how ClearlyIP phones enable silent panic alarms and silent intercom, offering discreet but powerful ways to respond to emergencies, which supports Alyssa's law, and the power of CodeX, our mass alert and emergency response platform. So whether you're protecting a school campus, managing multiple building operations, or simply trying to build a smarter communication plan, these tools are designed to make emergency preparedness easier, more affordable, and more effective. Now let's jump over to Q&A. Okay, so would it be possible to make these slides available after the webinar? Yes. So we're recording this webinar and we hope to have it loaded to our YouTube channel. And someone can also send you some of the slides as well. Dispatchable location info, how are you pulling that info? Via MAC address, VLAN? Can you elaborate a bit more on that? So our solutions provide tools for you, the customer or the reseller, to configure and manage that address data to be used in the system. So if you are using our SIP trunking or Clearly Cloud, we ask you for that location information, and it's basically programmed into the system. It's not automatically pulled from the device's MAC address. I know that our states require a wearable panic button. Do you have any products that meet this criteria? So not at this time. In Ohio, Alyssa's law will require, there you go, again, with the wearable panic buttons. Okay, cool. So maybe we should take a look at that. We don't have that as a product right now, but definitely something we could look at. Trust but verify, we say often. Is it possible to test your 911 compliance without dialing 911? I did not know this, but thank you, Todd. Dial 933 from any ClearlyIP provisioned phone. So I think I answered the wearable panic button question again. Are there any possibilities or plans to make panic buttons compatible with other phones, like Yealink, for example? So we have to be able to, something in the phone software has to be able to take control of the phone's mic and gain and all that and know. So I'm probably not. This is very specific to ClearlyIP phones, which are compatible with any SIP solution. Does Alyssa's law apply only to public schools and not private schools? That's a good question. I'm not exactly sure. I'm guessing if they're primary or secondary school, it applies to them. We can look at that and get back to you. How long does it take to add or update location information? It's instant, literally. In our system, there's a place for you to just type it in and we verify it and then it's there. So it's done in our self-service portal. eFax. So we do have an eFax solution and we can kind of work with you separately on that and go over that. I actually gave an eFax webinar not that long ago that should be available on our YouTube site. So maybe Todd, if you can find it, you can put the link in. So, and yes, we offer a send fax to solution. So we have high volume and low volume fax plans, and it's virtual inbound and outbound fax. Regarding dispatchable locations, is there any way for an end user to update their location from the predefined locations registered in Clearly Trunking? Yes. They can do that in Clearly Trunking, update their dispatchable locations. Can you confirm that 933 is default to test on 911 for all Clearly PBX? Yes, I believe we confirmed that. Any other questions? There's lots of good questions here. Do we have to have a panic button in every classroom to be compliant? Yes, if you're one of the states that requires Alyssa's law, yes. I believe that is it. Are there any other questions? Oh, we got one more. We're currently using Intrado for dispatchable location. Is this something you would take care of it then? Or we still need to publish with something like Intrado? Not sure, never heard of Intrado, so we're gonna have to get back to you on that with a little bit of research. I will make sure to take a look at that. Any other questions? All right, well, if there are no more questions at this time, I'm just gonna give you guys a quick note here. We're gonna be attending the upcoming High Tech Show in Indianapolis, Indiana. That's our next event. So if you're gonna be there, we would love to schedule a time to meet with you. We're gonna be in booth 1833. And that concludes our webinar for today. Thank you so much.